Hey YouTubers, this is Tech Authority, and this video is about what you need to know about buying a 4K TV, at least the minimums. There's a lot more to it, and we won't go into all the details in this video. This may become a part one, and there may be other parts to this depending on how popular this video is. So the first thing I now look at on a TV is whether it's HDCP 2.2 compliant. There may be other terms for it, but the main one that I look for is this 2.2. Um, why is that important? Well, the 4K content has certain encryption in it that will not play on your television set unless you have the HDCP 2.2 compliance. We'll just make it that simple without going into real detail. So, why is that important? Well, I hook up a 4K Blu-ray player, um, or I want to watch Netflix 4K, or Vudu 4K, or Amazon 4K via a Roku 4K device. I'm not going to get any content, so that's a major bummer. You will be able to watch certain things like YouTube 4K, which there's some great stuff out there. So I originally enjoyed that with my first 4K TV, this JVC that I bought. Um, now, is there a way to make these TVs work? Well, originally, I couldn't find anything, and then somebody posted a message on one of my YouTube videos, on one of my other channels, and they said, "Hey, you can buy this adapter, and it will basically allow you to have 4K content." So I looked into it, and I ended up actually purchasing it. And I'll leave a link down in the description so you actually, if you happen to have one of these legacy TVs and you don't know how to fix your problem, can't guarantee this device will fix it, but odds are it will. So this device goes between your TV set and the device that you want to um, basically have that 4K content come from. So between the TV and the 4K Blu-ray player, or between the TV and the Roku 4K, or some other device that's like that. All right, so 4K TVs are getting cheap. You probably noticed during this holiday season, they're really getting cheap. Just make sure you go out and do your homework. Um, I say watch as many YouTube videos as you can. Some of these people, don't really know what they're talking about. Some do. Do your research online. Then go to the stores, talk to the salespeople. Unfortunately, some of those guys, don't have a clue either. But and from there, check out as many brands as you can. Um, Picture's going to look bad at Best Buy or Walmart. Most likely, it will be at home. Sometimes they split that signal so many times that that's another story. But some of the TVs you'll find that the pictures just do not look good in person. So we've bought three 4K TVs over the last year, two of which we were very happy with the picture. Um, Unfortunately, though, out of the three, we were not happy with all the features. So we'll get into some of those details in a bit. All right. So one of the TVs I bought was a 4K Hitachi 50-inch TV. This TV was not a smart TV, and it actually was for my mother-in-law. As we've seen the holiday season, it's kind of hard to get a 1080p TV anymore. Everybody's starting to go towards the 4K and the bigger TVs. So a TV I bought her is not a smart TV, like I said, and she spends a lot of time on Netflix. And I've also got her set up with Roku, so she can watch basically Netflix and um, Vudu on there. And eventually, I'll probably hook her up with my Amazon account. But she has a lot of problem with all the different remotes that she has to use to get things to function. So um, this is a case where had I just bought her a smart TV, and the smart TV, a lot of times has a button for the Netflix. Maybe it has a button for HDMI. So I don't have to spend as much time training my in-laws on how to use these devices, which is good. And I don't have to spend as much time fixing the mistakes that they make. So, like I say, not tech savvy, go with the smart TV. Don't go through the hassle of trying to get a Roku 4K or one of the other devices. Um, you know, we add it up. You may save a little money, you may not. All right, so this isn't completely a true story. Some cases it might be though. So you now need a 4K Blu-ray player too. When is this true? Well, when your internet sucks, um, that is a real good reason to buy the 4K Blu-ray player. Plus, from my experience, I just got to believe that the picture is way better through watching a movie through the 4K Blu-ray player. Um, I'm not so sure that you get all the sound. Supposedly the HDR stuff is in there through some of the services now, but you know, I've got a recommendation down below for what I consider a super cheap 4K Blu-ray player made by LG, 99 bucks, $98, whatever it's going for now. I've got another video where I actually do an open box, go through an operational test. This thing doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but it gives you a great picture and it has HDR. It's very simple to use, and basically you'll be, in my opinion, very happy with it. Um, so one negative about the 4K Blu-ray player, the 4K movies are not available at the local Redbox, and I haven't looked into it yet, but Netflix might not have them available yet if they still do the delivery service. All right, so 4K content is expensive, as you'll find out. Luckily, this year there's a lot of additional movies being added. Obviously, that'll continue to grow. It's just older movies they'll convert to 4K. Whether you need to buy those in 4K, um, not really sure. I'm going to start doing some comparisons in the future. I've been buying new movies on 4K, and the picture quality is absolutely incredible. A lot of them include Blu-ray discs. We'll pretty much say every one of them includes a Blu-ray disc, which is nice. And in the future, I'll start doing some comparisons as I do reviews of the 4K movies. Probably even some screenshots in there so people can see, hey, um, when I I'll take a photo, very high resolution, and you'll be able to see that the quality, is either about the same or it is superior. So that's the hope with that. We'll see if that works. So getting back to this section, like I said, 4K content is expensive. You're gonna find most of your Blu-rays are in the $20 to $30 range. Um, New releases, I'd say usually 22.99, 27.99, somewhere in that range. Uh, if you had already bought your 4K Blu-ray player previous to Black Friday, you would have seen there were a ton of movies that got a lot cheaper. Um, Most of the ones I saw were a lot of the good deals I saw were 9.99. There were a couple even cheaper out and about. Not too many of those though. And I think 7.99 might be the wrong price there. I think it was more like 8.99. Uh, Regardless, it was right around that range. So Netflix, from what I've seen, charges an additional $4 per month to your existing Netflix account to get the 4K content. Amazon Prime, from my current experience, it seems to be included in the package. I haven't paid anything extra. And then, like I said, Vudu 4K movies. Or actually, I haven't covered this topic. So in Vudu, you can purchase 4K movies. They're usually in the $14.99, $29.99 range. Black Friday, there were some as low as $7.99. Some really good movies at that price. So, streaming 4K content. What do you need to know about this? If your internet sucks, it's slow, kids are always complaining, somebody's complaining, whether it be the daytime, um, or if it's specifically Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday nights, which seems to be the case at my house, you're going to want to make sure that you actually go with a wired connection to the back of your TV or Roku device or similar device to help with some of that lag and buffering. Alternate alternative to that, would be to purchase faster internet. But 4K sucks up a lot of bandwidth, so just be prepared for that. And that goes back to, hey, why might I want a 4K Blu-ray player? Well, you don't have to deal with those issues. All right, so another important thing, which we're not really going to go into a whole lot of detail here, ensure you buy the right cables and connect them to the right HDMI jacks. So some TVs, there's only one HDMI jack that will do the 4K content. And then on top of that, if you have the wrong cables, um, it's not going to work as well or it won't work at all. All right, so that is all I have. I hope you enjoyed this and thank you for checking out my video.